What is up, my beautiful, amazing listeners? How are you guys doing today? You are listening to an extra sip. I'm your host, Miriam Smaki, and happy holidays to all, and to all a good night. We're officially in the month of December, and so happy holidays, everyone. I don't know about you, but the holidays, I'm already making loud noises. The holidays are a great time because you can receive things, you can give things, you can be with people you love or at least tolerate. You can spend time with loved ones. You can spend time with yourself. It's truly an amazing opportunity to do all you need to do. Also, I personally love it. As a student, we have a break. And like I was saying before, with spring break and Thanksgiving break, are they even breaks? You still have to come back and do things. You still need to retain information, be ready to present something, be ready to turn in a paper. Meanwhile, winter break and summer break, you're just done. Even if you wanted to get ahead, you couldn't. You couldn't. And I think that's the best. Everyone needs just a moment to re-energize, and focus on you for a bit. So I'm so excited about that. Today was actually the start of holidays because it was my last day of classes today. So that's exciting. I'm not a second semester senior until I finish my last final, which is next Thursday. But it's exciting that it's the last day of classes. I no longer have to wake up early for my 9:30, which is not even that early, but it's early for me. Why would I want to get up at that time? I no longer have to go to my classes I don't really care about, so it's a good time. For my last day of classes, I spent it by watching the Kardashians and sleeping for 5 hours. Other people spent it by getting drunk and singing at the top of their lungs in a back of a pickup truck. So you do you, boo. You do you. That's why I personally spent mine. Anyways, guys, this is going to be an exciting episode, maybe. Why? Because I'm pissed. I'm livid a little bit. I'm a little bit angry. I know that sounds sarcastic, but I'm actually angry and mad, which always just turns for a great episode because I just feel like the energy is good. I'm just rambling. I'm going off, and I'm using this as my diary. I think I said earlier that I was not going to do that, use this as my personal diary, but that was more for sad moments when I'm feeling at the very bottom of everything that I am. Right now, I'm just like pissed. And I did talk to a friend, so she did simmer me down. So about one thing in particular I want to talk about, I'm not as heated. But another thing, I am a little bit heated. And you know what? As I'm thinking about it, the first thing actually I'm going to get into, I don't know if it's sad per se. It's more so that my way of thinking is messed up. It sucks. I'm not good mentally, emotionally, psychologically. I knew this. I just have not had the chance to go to the doctor to have them, or not doctor, I guess, but psychiatrist, psychologist, counselor. I've not had a chance to go to them for them to confirm. However, I know that things are not good. But we're going to get into that first just because I want this to be a platform where I speak for the people in a way, and that I know other people go through this or at least have had thoughts like this before. And sometimes you think it's isolating. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm the only one who goes through this, when I have a surprise for you, honey, sweetie, boo-boo. We all go through it sometimes. Some people are just great at masking it. So you're like, oh, they have their life together, when they really do not. Anytime someone tells me you're not an introvert, you don't get sad, you're always happy, you're always smiling, you're always the center of attention. Oh, if you only knew the times that I am alone when I want to be alone, it's glorious. Also, I am sad probably, well, am I going to say that? I was going to say I'm sad more than I'm happy. I mean, to a certain extent, that might be a little bit kind of sort of maybe true. I don't know. And that's why I always say, ask about those who are always in their high spirits, those who are more energetic, more happy, those people, because sometimes it's them that are suffering, and are the saddest. So they have high highs, but very low lows as well. So, with that intro, let's get into my first topic, and that is, here's my advice, okay? And this, I'll get into, the story, but the overall theme is do not just self-sabotage yourself, I guess, for the benefit of others. Not even the benefit, but the thought of the possibility of the benefit of others, if you know what I mean. For example, today, as I'm recording this, it's Friday. I have to record it early, because I'm actually going to DC this weekend, so that is exciting. But I could have gone to DC today, actually. Gotten on the 5 o'clock bus, since I have classes until 2 on a Friday. It's disgusting, but don't worry, guys. Next semester, I have no Friday classes, so we love it. But I could have gotten on the bus at 5, gotten there around like 8, 9, and had like tonight there, Saturday there, Sunday there, and then left Monday. So I could have done all that, but just in the way that I am, I was like, no, I'll stay, just in case someone wants to hang out with me, or just in case that there are moves and people are going out and doing things. Hi, guys. It is 8:34 p.m., and the highlight of today has been watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians and watching Kourtney and Kim fight over a Candyland theme birthday party for Northie and Penelope. That was the extent of today. Granted, I'm going to go do a little like pancake moment, something a little bit later. But that would not, like, I don't know. I wanted to hang out with a certain group of people today, but they are busy, and then contacted other people, they're busy. So it's like, I don't know why I do it, especially because, for example, when I ask people to hang out and they're like, no, I'm busy, sorry. Of course, I'm like, well, damn, like, that sucks. Like, I would have loved to hang out with you. But the next time an opportunity comes, I'm absolutely going to ask them again, you know? Like, people get busy, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe another time. And then you keep asking. I think that for everyone, there is a point in time where you're just like, okay, well, I've asked you 5 times, and you've said no to all of them. Maybe you just don't like me. And maybe I'm just going to sit back, and if you want to hang out with me, good. And if you don't ever reach out to me, then that's very telling. I think that's very telling as well. If you're the only person reaching out and no one else reaches out to you, oh, babe, that's so telling. And I emphasize with you? I don't know. Sympathize. One of the two, I don't really know the difference. Not an English major, but the one where I have felt what you felt. And so I'm a moment of understanding. That's what I feel, because I've been in that situation so much, and it sucks when you just wait and you're like, okay, so it really is me. If I don't ask, no one asks me. I get that. But typically I'm over here like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'll ask you another time. And yet I cannot wrap my brain around that for me somehow, because the way that my mind is, and I know it's I don't know what it's called, but in AP psychology, it's like when a negative thought comes in, and then it's like a cycle, and you keep thinking about it this way, and it's just a negative reinforcement type of thing. I do not know the name, but maybe you guys are screaming it at me right now. But the way that I think is, well, people don't like me, and people aren't going to want to hang out with me forever. And I think that really stemmed from, I had a 5-year friendship with a girl in high school. She ended up not really liking me. I've had other friendships that just have imploded. And y'all, you know I'm so real on this episode. I would be so honest in saying, okay, it was my fault. I definitely understand. But for those 2 times, it really wasn't. And so that hurt, because I was being my authentic, genuine self, and someone did not like that. It's basically what that is. We were friends for this long, and then boom, you switch. You never liked who I was as a person. And because this is me, like, this is who I am, that's an attack on me, you know? So that hurts. And so in my mind, I just think people don't like me. And then that actually goes back to, I took my love language test. My first one is quality time. I love quality time. Just sitting with someone, even if we're just on our phones, even if we're not, well, I would prefer to be like cuddling, or if you're a friend, like sitting next to each other, that's very nice. But I love quality time, and someone just being being there. And I said being on our phones. If we're both on our phones and we're just happy in the peace, then great. But if we're talking and we're having a moment, I want the phones away. I want us to have that eye contact. I want us to have that moment of understanding. And I've been friends with people who are not present. And it never occurred to me why I hate that so much until I did this love language quiz. And so we're actually sponsored. I would actually love, but one day, guys, the Extra Sip family is growing. And one day we'll get these little sponsors up in here. So because that's the way that I think, anytime someone invites me to something or there's an opportunity to do something, I think I'm so willing to jump on it and do it because I know it's going to end eventually or they're not going to care about me eventually. And so I think if I can spend time with them today, then I'm going to do that because it's not going to last forever. That's literally my thought process. And it's sad. It is sad. The girl that I was talking to, actually, and why I'm not as pressed about this issue anymore, even though the next one I'm going to talk about, I'm screaming, is because, she just told me that she likes being my friend and she enjoys the time we spend together. And she's just listing off compliments. And I was like, I love that. Thank you, basically. It's just a moment of I can't say anything more than thank you. Because my second love language is actually words of affirmation. And that makes a lot of sense because I think most people are like, oh no, they like you. You're so positive. You light up the room. You're energetic. They like you. Okay, then why am I not hearing that from them? I think that's even if someone's love language is not words of affirmation. I don't think anyone is upset when you tell them how much they mean to you. I think that's so important with your family as well as your friends, as well as people who have just inspired you in life. People, I don't know. I think we need to tell people more often what they mean to us. Because even though in our heads we're just like, someone actually said that to me a few days ago. They had not texted me in 3 months. They're very busy, but 3 months is a long time. So that was weird to me. And so I messaged them and then they were messaging me back. And I was, kind of poking their buttons. I was like, sorry if you can hear these people. I don't know if you can. Oh, okay, no. I paused for a bit to see if you can hear on the Audacity, but I don't think you can. I don't know. They're just being very loud. Oh, I'm so pissed. Anyways, but I was poking their buttons. I was like, look, you obviously don't like me. LOL. It's fine. I don't like myself. Just being stupid. And they're like, no, but I like you. And that just made me pause because I'm like, do I? And that's actually what I sent back. I was like, do I? It's been 3 months. And I understand with some people in life, you can't talk with them every single day. I get that. But 3 months, and then for them to say, I like you, yeah. Can you say it to me more often? Say, I like you for XYZ. You're my friends for XYZ. I think that's so powerful. I love you for XYZ. And that's, okay, now we have doors slamming. Jeez. But actually going back to a great childhood movie of, what is it called? It's called, oh my gosh. Madagascar. Sorry, yes. When Gloria, of course, my queen hippopotamus. Remember, y'all, when she was with Moto, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But there was, the chunky and the muscular hippo, Moto, where all the girls were over him as in they wanted him. And he actually wanted Gloria. And he was just like, oh, you're beautiful, and all of this. But she was like, okay, but why do you like me? Why did you choose me? And he's just like, well, you're just chunky and you're beautiful. Not saying anything. Meanwhile, Marvin? Oh my God, what is his name? I think it's Melvin or Marvin. Sorry. The giraffe he just came in and he was listing all of these things about her okay, but you need to understand that she's this and she's this and she's one of the kindest people and she's so funny and she's amazing. And it's that's such a small analogy, but I think it directly correlates with what I'm trying to say. Tell people what they mean to you and how much you appreciate. So I actually have 2 pieces of advice. 1, do not self-sabotage in hopes that you can hang out with other people. Like, I think that moving forward, and it's going to be so hard for me, I just need to live my life. And then I don't want to do that either, though. Like, live my life and then fill people in as I can. But in a sense, yeah, because life is so short and you should do things that make you happy. Like, I do not do this anymore. Ew. Ugh. Like, this was me in the past, but I do not do this anymore, where I would want to do stuff, and because I couldn't find anyone to go with me, I wouldn't go. That, like, I missed out on so many opportunities because I was doing that. And now I'm over here just getting ready, putting on my makeup, going to do every which thing by myself. And you know what? I have a good time. I really do have a good time. Throw in a podcast, throw on some music, eat dinner by myself, go to a basketball game by myself, go to a theater performance by myself. It's such a good time being comfortable with yourself, and also understanding that just because people are busy doesn't mean that, well, no, not that, but just because you don't hang out with someone every chance that they ask doesn't mean that they're going to lose interest in you, I guess. Unless you do it 5 times in a row, then yeah, maybe figure that out, which is hitting very hard for me because there is someone that I have tried to get to hang out with me 4 times now, and every time it's no. So I'm just like, well, maybe they just don't fucking like me. For that one, maybe they really just don't fucking like me. But with other friends, if they're a true friend and you explain yourself, then it should be fine. Of course, it's like a damn, yikes, ouch, oops, ugh, I'm upset, I'm mad, but you eventually get through it and it's fine. So I just wanted to express that a little bit because that really got to me. And I don't know, I think it's always also just the grass is greener on the other side. I'm like, oh, well, look, I didn't do the one thing I wanted to do. I would have had such a better time in DC. When I think about it, would I have been ready today to leave at 5? I'm still packing. So that would have been an inconvenience to try to rush. And also I got to have dinner with a friend, which was awesome. I got to watch the Kardashians, which I'm not going to do when I'm in DC. So I'm going to do the pancake thing, which has been my tradition. I've gone every semester. This is my 7th semester. So I don't know. I guess when I take a step away, I'm not upset. At first I was, but then I collected myself. I took a breath and I was like, it's fine. Everything is okay. So everything's fine. What's not fucking okay, though, now we're moving on to my second big thing that really pissed me off this week, is I do not understand why some of y'all do not have the self-respect, the self-dignity, just anything where you are deciding to put out content, I guess I will say, that is horrific. And I'm upset. And I want to be respectful. So I might not, I don't know though, because these people are never going to listen to this. I'm deciding if I want to give the exact examples. And so if people listen to this, they would know it's them. But also I've had many presentations in the last 2 weeks. So you really don't know if I'm talking about you unless the slipper fits, because there's many of you doing all of these things. So you don't know if I'm talking about you. And that's what I will say. Anything that I say can and will be held against me in the court of law. But I'm ready to fight and be like, actually, I was not talking about you. But if the sleeper fits, fucking wear it. So, about presentations. Now, here's what I'll say. I'm not saying that I'm the best at presentations, but I have been named regional and state champion of dramatic performance in my speech team. Okay, I have won multiple school competitions for speech as well as for performance. I've been cast in many theater performances. I love giving presentations. Public speaking is my passion. Anytime I speak with people, they're like, I could see you on TV. I see you with this. The way you enunciate, the way that you project, you're very good at what you do. So I'm not saying I'm the best, but I think I'm very good at what I do. And so it just pisses me off when I'm sitting in class watching a presentation where it is clear that you did not practice, it is clear that you do not know what you're talking about, and it is clear that you are wasting everyone's time because we just got up there and did a great performance. Now you're going up presentation, I mean, but to me, it's a fucking performance. I practice in an empty classroom for hours on end, just repeating it to myself, actually standing up and speaking to a fake audience. I do all of this because I just have always been, it's not even being a perfectionist, but it's just being proud of what you put out. I want to be proud of the presentation I do. And so for y'all who are just so comfortable with getting up there, mumbling, stumbling, oh my, there's so many examples, but y'all just suck. And it sucks because, y'all suck and it sucks, because the professor is going to give you a grade just as high as mine. And I'm like, so what is the point? Now let me just say this. When I do presentations, it is for me. I am doing this at the level that I am because I want to be proud. And so in a way, I don't really care that they're getting the same grade because I'm doing my presentation for me. Whatever happens with you, I do not care. I have my blinders on. I'm not looking at you. But on another hand, it's kind of insulting that I put in so much effort and then you guys who suck are not. Here are some examples. 1, it has literally been taught since we were in middle school, that you do not put the whole dictionary encyclopedia thesaurus on a fucking slide. Where are the images? Where are the bullet points? Put phrases, because, I don't know if you knew, but you're actually supposed to memorize your presentation. If anything, have note cards. Note cards are very professional. Have note cards, but don't put the entire Old and New Testament on the fucking board and turn around so your back is to the audience and read the whole goddamn thing. I know how to read. Hi, I also go to this school. Hi, I was taught when I was a baby. A literal baby. I am baby. I was taught how to read and how to write. So I'm literate. I don't need you to read it for me. Unless it's a quote. I love a good quote. I will say it. I love a good quote. But I don't need some people, they read the slides and then they embellish 1 or 2 words. I still don't like that. For other people, they just do not embellish at all and they're reading the entire thing. So I'm like, did your mom do this and you just got it emailed to you 2 minutes before the presentation so you have to read it? What are you doing? That pisses me off. And it's happened so much these past weeks as I'm watching these presentations, and I just get fed up. I'm just watching them and I'm like, you look goofy, you look stupid, but like, did you get your invitation to Mickey Mouse's clubhouse because you look goofy? You're goofy. That's stupid. Another thing that I have hated in terms of presentations is people going over the time limit. People going over time. And in a way, I'm looking at the professors, because I have had professors who stop you, which I prefer. Because these are the directions. You're going to tell me you want to become a fucking doctor and you're not going to read the instructions? These are literally the directions. You need to follow the directions. If it says 10 to 15 minutes, why are you speaking for 18 minutes and 39 seconds? Why are you speaking for 8 minutes and 2 seconds? Speak for 10 to 15 minutes. And you know what? You would do it if you actually practiced and if you actually respected yourself and if you actually wanted to be proud of the work that you produce. But you don't. You don't. And so that's why you suck. And I'll say that on that. That's why you suck, because you don't respect yourself. And so you're going up there and it's your first time ever presenting it. And so you're baffled, bamboozled almost, that you were going 8-9 minutes over. And I'm looking at the professor like, we're really just gonna, okay. I was late to a class because of this. And that's when it's affecting me. If that was my only class, of course it's still affecting me because, I don't like when other people waste my time. And if it only affects you, like if you get your grade, you get your F, I'm over here at J chilling, it's fine. But when it starts affecting me and I'm late for my next class, or I'm stressed because I have to go after you and you just gave the longest presentation of the world, then I'm over here like, okay, now you're making me rush and you're making me look bad. And meanwhile, I'm trying to finish before class is over. So practice beforehand. So you're not going 8 decades later, okay? So you're not going 20 decades, like we know the roaring 20s are next. Woo, we're going on to the next decade, but I don't need you to carry us into that one. I'm more than fine walking myself into the next decade. Thanks. Woo, another example. I'm sweating. I'm a little bit hot. My heart is beating fast. I don't know if I'm okay, but the next example is that I think that some of y'all just don't know how to present in general, which kind of goes on with everything else. And I just want to keep going back to, I am not a professional on this, and the way that I do, it's not my way or the highway. Absolutely not. I've seen some presentations that I would never do it in that way, but it's actually really cool, and I love it. I love sitting there listening to it, but other people, it just does not make sense. For example, if you're doing a presentation and over half of it is a clip or a video, that's not a presentation. You're showing us a movie. What is that? Like, I don't understand. And that literally happened a few weeks ago when I was, again, baffled. I was absolutely baffled. Because he pulled up the 2 clips on the PowerPoint slide. And I was like, oh, okay, this is probably just like 20 seconds to embellish what he has already said. I think that visuals and even graphs or bullet points, I think all of that should be to embellish your presentation. I was actually taught when I was at a government agency during an internship, I was taught that you should know your presentation so well that you can do it without any visuals at all. Because and visual, I mean the whole PowerPoint or whatever you're projecting. Because at the end of the day, it's to embellish this knowledge, what you're presenting. It should be in your head. And okay, great. If you have your note cards, that's awesome. Or I don't know, because I love theater, I'm much more comfortable memorizing unless there's very hard-hitting statistics and things that I need to get absolutely correct. Then I will have note cards, of course. But it's like some of y'all are relying on this presentation like if it's life support. Like, if this goes, you go. And I'm like, what? You don't know, and you don't even know your topic. That also gets me. When people stand up there, they're like, hi, my name is this. They look back and they're like, so I'm presenting on, looks back, reads directly from the slide, the title, and then looks back at us. I'm like, oh, okay. So Grandma Pappy, LOL, really just sent you this 2 minutes before you had to present it. I don't understand. I really don't get it. And look, I get it. I don't get it, but I do get it. I know that some of y'all are in these majors where you don't have to present. With my major, sociology, I've had quite a few presentations. Also, I just love presenting, like I've said a multiple amount of time. But for example, if you're in the hard sciences or if you're a math major, then I can understand not doing presentations as often. So, hey, look, maybe you're rusty. Maybe you're not the best that you can be. However, these are skills that we learn in high school, middle school. What were you doing then? What? You really did not grow then? Did you not learn anything? Or have your presentations always sucked? And you're just that type of student where, oh, I'm great, but presentations, oh, yikes, oh, couldn't be me. Is that something you're proud of? Is that a personality trait for you? Because if so, yikes, I don't want to be friends with you ever again. That's disgusting and that's gross. Like, I don't understand that at all. Oh, y'all, I don't know. I don't know why that made me so passionate too. I think it's just because I was subjected and forced to listen to it. And I really was looking at my imaginary watch, looking at my phone, looking around the world like, who? And I think what really gets me, here's the real geeker, guys, here's the geeker, is when y'all stand up there smiling, proud. Is when you're not, why are you proud? I'm not proud of you, so you shouldn't be proud of yourself. Like, this was a horrific presentation. The people who play the clips that are longer than over half of the presentation, you're sitting back watching this with us. And you're smiling to yourself like, this is good. This is great. That's what really gets me, because I'm making eye contact and they're just like smiling watching it too. I'm like, I really don't understand. Like, what's the thought process? Explain this to me. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the motivation. I'm not seeing the vision. But maybe if you provide me with a little bit of, what's your take? Tell me why you decided to do this. That's all I want to know. That's really all I want to know. I don't get it, guys, but that's just really it's been under my skin for this whole week. And especially, this is my last thing I want to say before I gotta go. Especially before Thanksgiving break, because we had presentations then too. So it's just been on my mind and I really had to share it with you guys. Sound off if this is something that I'm being dramatic about. I get that. Just don't say it to my face because that annoys me. But if you think I'm dramatic, hi, you signed up for this. It's an extra sip. Dramaticism is what I do. Thank you. Speaking of being dramatic, last thing I want to talk about before I really have to go is that during Thanksgiving break, I almost got security called on me and I almost called security on someone else. So let me just briefly get into that. It was Black Friday. If you know what Black Friday is, those are good. I'm doing good in quotation marks because sometimes the deals aren't great and it's just the stores are bamboozling you. But I don't know. I always love a good Black Friday deal. And so I was in line for Morphe. They're a makeup brand. They did not open their doors until midnight, so I was in line until 11:30. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the store just in case one day they want to sponsor me. But the line for Morphe was actually extending into this other store. And I was like, oh, yikes. I was right at the end of Morphe. So I was like, okay, I'm good. But the people behind me, a little bit into this other store. But that other store, their doors were huge. So it didn't even matter. But then this worker, she was getting frustrated. And so she actually came to the Morphe line and she told us to scoot forward. And we're like, okay. Meanwhile, there were still people in front of their door because the Morphe line was extending very long. So then she called security. So there was 3 men standing in front of their door. So people further behind me, they had to move to a whole other side of the mall so that no one covered their doors. And I just kept looking back at this woman and security and I was like, this is dramatic. Like if someone really wanted your product, they would bulldoze their way through to get your product. But clearly they don't. Clearly you don't have any customers. So relax. We want Morphe. We want makeup. We want other things. We don't want you. And if we did, we would move our way into it. And then I saw my mom in the store. So I was like, LOL. Like we have allies anyways. Like I'm over here and then my mom's in the store. And my littlest sister, she saw my mom. So she went in there. My mom and my sister were in there. Meanwhile, my middle sister and I were still talking. I was talking with the 2 girls in front of me like, this is childish. This is ridiculous. Like, enough. My little sister comes out and she's like, oh, that worker's talking about you. And I was just like, let me part my bangs. What did she say? Apparently, this woman was like, there's 2 girls, my sister and I. There are 2 girls looking and talking about me. I'm going to call security. And I thought that was the funniest thing. After I heard that, I looked back. Homegirl was no longer in my vision. She had moved to the back of the store. She had quit. I don't know what she did, but I couldn't see her anymore. So I'm like, exactly. Come speak to my face if you have a problem. If not, stay behind your desk in the corner and be upset about it. I don't understand people who don't like confrontation. If you really have a problem, come talk with me. Because of what I was saying, and that's always what I say, y'all. Everything that I do and everything that I say, I mean, and I truly, like, I just mean it. It is odd that you wanted people to move from your huge double doors. It's also very true that if people really wanted your product, they would make their way through. So what is the real problem? I thought that was funny. Why I almost called security on someone. I was in the movie theater watching Frozen 2. If you've not seen it yet, oh, it's beautiful. It's impeccable. 6 years really made a difference. I highly recommend it, guys. Go watch it. #1 movie in America, in the world. But there were 3 stupid, dumb, idiotic, middle school aged girls. Now, race doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So I'm not going to say their race, but you know what race they are. And they were Okay, I've never just experienced anything like this. I've definitely had people chit chat a little bit during the movie, and I'm just like, okay, that's kind of annoying, but then they stop. But these girls, it's like they had thought that, oh, and there were 3 of them. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't know if they had thought that they were accidentally in Justice, the Justice baby clothing store, or that they were at the food court. They must have really not taken into account where they were, because they were on their phones the whole time, laughing, giggling at text messages, at memes, at photos, the whole time. Frozen 2, I mean, this is not to spoil anything. Of course, there's like some sad moments. You could get that from the trailer, but it was just so bizarre that they were speaking and screaming the whole time. And it sucks because at the movie theater, to call security on someone, you need to leave the store. Or not that, now I don't know where I am, but you need to leave the theater, go out, talk to someone, come back in. And I did not want to miss the movie. It was such a good movie. And so that is the only reason I did not get someone on their asses, or else I would have. I really would have gone middle-aged white woman and yelled, because I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. We're trying to watch a movie. The movies are not cheap. I feel like, and this was just me ranting with my sisters, I was like, I want the theater to tally up all of the tickets that we spent and divide it by 3 and have them pay us back. Reimburse me for my time, because you giggling the whole time, it did not impact the whole movie for me, but I definitely felt like I would have been more emotional or more into it if they weren't doing that. And so that kind of sucked, but look, at the end of the day, it was what it was. I loved the movie. I have the whole soundtrack downloaded. I listen to it all the time. So it's great. I absolutely love it. They were just ridiculous. So yeah, I just thought it was funny how just 3 days ago, I almost got security called on me. And then after, I almost called security on someone. But in the end, nothing happened. That's just a cute little tidbit I wanted to share. So I think I'm going to go. I actually have to run home, switch into some jeans because I'm in sweatpants. That's not really a look. Just for me personally. And then go to those little pancake things. So thank you guys so much for listening. I'm happy that I was able to rant in a way. That was very fun. I feel lightheaded. I don't even know what I spoke about. Maybe I'll listen back to this. Maybe I won't. That's always the game that I play with myself. But thank you guys so much for listening. Again, this has been an extra sip. I love you guys so much for listening. And with that, bye-bye.